his second speech at Dobson Ranch Toastmasters. With this trip down memory lane, he hopes to encourage each of us to remember some of the small moments from our past that help shape us into who we are today. All the small things, Matt Sherry. Matt Sherry, all the small things.
Thank you, Dobson Ranch, for that excellent welcome. Now, we've talked on it a little bit here so far this morning, but I'm hopeful when I ask this question that I get a resounding answer. We're all on the ball and ready to go for this weekend. But what is happening on Sunday?
Father's Day.
Father's Day. And I've had the luxury of giving you all my icebreaker and letting you get to know me a little bit better. So I thought, what better way to spend this speech than to fill you in on the relationship that I had with my father growing up and how he helped shape me into who I am today. Now, growing up with my father, some of our first memories together that I have are playing sports, whether it was Little League baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer. My dad was always there. He was my coach in Little League, and just always there to give me that constant feedback and criticism after a game. He would give me such gems as, you know, Matt, when you're trying to get a rebound, you shouldn't stand directly underneath the hoop. You're not going to have much success. Maybe step back a few feet and see what happens. And all of a sudden, my basketball game went from absolutely horrendous to just pretty bad, which was a really good. He also had a little gem for me of, Matt, you know, when you come in from the field, your glasses, they're all dusty. And then you try to hit a baseball, it's going to be very difficult to hit a baseball when you can't see. I fixed that. All of a sudden, I was getting on base a little bit more. And then we had to have another hard talk of, Matt, I hate to break it to you, son, but you have Sherry speed. Once you get on base, you need to stay there. Stealing bases is never going to be your game. Just don't try to turn singles into doubles. Stick with what you got. Now, we didn't just play sports. We would often watch sports together as well. In fact, I picked my two favorite sports teams just to piss my father off. You see, he was a New York Giant fan for football, so naturally I became a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Excellent.
He was a New York Met fan for baseball, so naturally I had to be a New York Yankee fan.
Yeah.
Even from a young age, we always loved smack talk and competing against one another and rooting against one another in a friendly and fun way. Although it wasn't always friendly and fun, my dad still gloats that he was able to make me cry when the Giants were able to beat the Cowboys. I would run up to my room, throw a temper tantrum, throwing toys and chairs all around. My mom would have to run up the stairs, Tim, why did you have to do that again? And he's down there in his recliner chuckling like, we have won today. Now, there was a time when I would have started this next sentence off with unfortunately, but luckily due to my father's teaching, I'll start it off with fortunately. Fortunately, my childhood was not all fun and games and sports and watching TV. We had to do some work, most notably yard work. My dad, to this day, loves yard work. I don't understand it. It's what his recreation is. I just don't get it. There were Father's Days where it's like, Dad, you know, what do you want to do? You want to lay on the couch? You want to go golfing? You want to... No, it's all, everybody, out to the yard. Some yard work. And he would wake us up. We'd have our 7 a.m. wake-up calls, me and my two sisters, or his minions, as he likes to call us, and still does to this day. And because I was the only boy, I often had a lot of the more difficult tasks, or at least that was my perception of them. I would mow the lawn. I would always be the one carrying the big bag of leaves and the trash cans out to the various areas. But one day when I was 12 or 13, I graduated to the hedger. The automated.
There we go.
This is the show. I've arrived. And my dad said, you know, just don't cut your arm off. Your mother would be really pissed at me. So just try to be safe. Go over there. Let's trim up that bougainvillea and keep it trim and neat. Well, I was so excited that I wasn't really listening, or I was just a teenager, so I wasn't really listening. And I walk over to the brand new bougainvillea that he had just brought home from Home Depot.
No.
And I'm over there, I'm thinking I'm doing such a great job, I'm hedging the bush down, and he comes over, Matthew, no! And I put down the hedger, I'm like, what? He's like, that bougainvillea, this is brand new. What on earth were you thinking? Well, we still look out at that bush to this day as Matt's little bush in the backyard, because every other tree is the exact same height, and then you have my little guy. It's a nice little memento in our backyard. But those days of working in the yard actually did help me grow in my own professional career. You see, he would always be saying things like, Matt, why do I have to ask you to get the rake out and to rake those leaves? Why can't you just see that it needs to be done and take the initiative to do it? And I was like, I don't know, I feel like you should have just asked me and I would have done it. Well, this initiative thing has really helped me in my career. And in fact, my first big boy job I actually got because of my father. He worked there beforehand, and he was a consultant for about 6 months and decided it's not where he wanted to stay. He wanted to move on to a new task. But he's like, Matt, you can do this job. I can teach you how to do it. Let's try it. So he gets me the interview. 2 weeks later, he gets me hired. And then for the first 2 weeks of my professional career, I'm working with my father standing over my shoulder. This was the most stressful 2 weeks of my life. Every day was, Matthew, you need to do better. Matthew, what were you thinking? Why did you send that email? Because, you know, I'm fresh out of college. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't lie. I crafted my resume in a very clever way just to get myself in and to learn along the way. Yeah, I lied. That's true. Let's just be real. But those 2 weeks actually helped me develop a standard for my professional career that has actually really helped me as I've moved on. My motto and philosophy now in my career is, if my dad would look at this work and say, it's okay, my boss is going to love it. It's going to be a home run, knock it out of the park, ding me there, but it's just going to be excellent. And that has really helped me grow and helped me move along throughout my career. So what I would challenge you all to do this weekend is to call your father, a fatherly figure, or someone that's really helped shape you with some of those little moments that, you know, quite frankly, they probably forgot. My dad might not remember all of these things that I'm saying to you here, but they were hugely impactful and important to me. And I'm going to end this speech by actually practicing what I preach and leaving you all and talking now directly to my father. Dad, thank you for everything you did for me growing up. I don't tell you often enough how much I appreciate it and love you. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you very much.